Well, this here's your buddy Virgil James, and you're listening to Tumbleweed Radio on KWPKE 93.3. Ride back with us to a simpler time of life on the lonesome trail of big skies and bigger dreams out in the great frontier. Y'all are listening to Tumbleweed Radio on KWPKW 93.3. This next song was a special request from our listener Ryan Staudiker. 9 Train by Steam Wagon Wilson. This one's for you, Ryan. Next up is 9 Train by Steam Wagon Wilson. If you like trains, then get your tickets ready, because this one's arriving at the station. That there song was just chugging along. Shame it had to end. That was 9 Train by Steam Wagon Wilson. That was 9 Train by Steam Wagon Wilson. Our longtime listener Caleb Hoffman wants to hear Born to be a Cowboy by Rope and Roy Peters. Here you go, Caleb. For all them listeners out there with ranching in their blood, here's Born to be a Cowboy by Rope and Roy Peters. You know, I rode with Destiny once. Followed it all the way to a tiny little radio station in the desert, and I've been here ever since. That was Born to be a Cowboy by Rope and Roy Peters. Well, y'all just heard Born to be a Cowboy by Rope and Roy Peters. Feels about time to kick the boots off and relax by the fire. This is Campfire by Palomino Pete. Andrew Herr wants to hear Campfire by Palomino Pete. Let's help Andrew cozy up to that fire. Well, there ain't nothing more relaxing than the warmth of a fire and the sound of night critters. That was Campfire by Palomino Pete. That there was Campfire by Palomino Pete. Next up, we have a special request from Jason Foss. This is In the Shadow of the Valley by the Blue Roan Brothers. Here's a rambling tune for those out on the trail. This is In the Shadow of the Valley by the Blue Roan Brothers. That was In the Shadow of the Valley by the Blue Roan Brothers. That takes me back to my wandering days, when it was just me, my horse, and a pack mule named Velma. That was In the Shadow of the Valley by the Blue Roan Brothers. David Klein says he'd be much obliged if we played Makin' Eyes by Harvey Bronco. Well, here you go, David. What's a country song without a love dodecahedron? This is Makin' Eyes by Harvey Bronco. Well, that was Makin' Eyes by Palomino Peter. You know, maybe if Harvey wants to get the girl, he should get off that stool and start dancing. Anyway, that was Makin' Eyes by Harvey Bronco. Grab your dancing partner and take a spin. Here's Pound Another Nail by Johnny Buckskin. We've got a Johnny Buckskin fan listening. Willow wants to hear Pound Another Nail. You were listening to Pound Another Nail by Johnny Buckskin. That song was a lot darker than I remember. That was Pound Another Nail by Johnny Buckskin. Well, if you love the fiddle, you'll love this next one. Red Rock Canyon by the Campfire Strummers. Ryan Carpenter wants to hear Red Rock Canyon by the Campfire Strummers. I've got you covered, partner. Well, that one had me tapping my foot. That was Red Rock Canyon by the Campfire Strummers. That was Red Rock Canyon by the Campfire Strummers. Well, here's a tune that'll get the young'uns dancing. This is Revolver by Pablo Cortina. Well, I just got a request for Revolver by Pablo Cortina from Colin C. Giddy up, Colin. And that was Revolver by Pablo Cortina. Well, even cowboys like the occasional electric guitar. That was Revolver by Pablo Cortina. Dylan Boggs wants to hear Ride Stallion Ride by Dusty Hickok. Right on, Dylan. Well, let's get them little doggies running with Ride Stallion Ride by Dusty Hickok. That was Dusty Hickok with Ride Stallion Ride. Now, they say the best horse to take on the trail is a mare, because stallions, well, they do dumb shit that'll get you both killed. That was Ride Stallion Ride by Dusty Hickok. Longtime listener Jason Caliber has requested Run by the Black Hat Outlaw. I tip my hat to you, sir. You know, the West wouldn't be the same without the outlaw. Here's Run by the Black Hat Outlaw. and that was Run by the Black Hat Outlaw. Ah, reminds me of my outlaw days. I'd still be living in Hole in the Wall if the Wi-Fi hadn't been complete horse shit. That was Run by the Black Hat Outlaw. Ben the Wild Bean just requested Squatting Journey by Peppermint Cow Patty. That's a mighty fine choice, Ben. Got an upbeat little ditty coming your way. Here's Squatting Journey by Peppermint Cow Patty. That was Squatting Journey by Peppermint Cow Patty. That there was Squatting Journey by Peppermint Cow Patty. You know, I could ramble around to that all day. Here's a little bit of sunshine to relax to. This is The Dribbling Smile by the Tumbleweed Twins. My friend Ulysses Torres wants to hear The Dribbling Smile by the Tumbleweed Twins. This here's for you, Ulysses. And that there was The Dribbling Smile by the Tumbleweed Twins. Well, they got me whistling along again. Hope they got you, too. That was The Dribbling Smile by the Tumbleweed Twins. Here's a pretty little number going out to all the good people who find themselves on a journey. This is The Long Road by the Okayest Corral. Allie Magliola just called in, and she wants to hear The Long Road by the Okayest Corral. Coming right up, Allie. That there was The Long Road by the Okayest Corral. That was The Long Road by the Okayest Corral. Remember, if your destination is a long ways off, try to enjoy the scenery. I hear a train's a-comin'. Here's The Old Engine Driver by Saloon Kate. Our listener Maddie Lindberg must be a train lover, 'cause she just requested The Old Engine Driver by Saloon Kate. Here you go, Maddie. Hope the train didn't leave without you. That was The Old Engine Driver by Saloon Kate. You just heard The Old Engine Driver by Saloon Kate. It ain't a country song without a little twang and a whole lot of depression. This is Your Lyin' Eyes by the Crockett Boys. We just got a request for Your Lyin' Eyes by the Crockett Boys from Becca LaFleur. Well, Becca, I don't know who crossed you, but I hope they pay. Here's hoping the Crockett Boys have better days ahead. That was Your Lyin' Eyes. That was Your Lyin' Eyes by the Crockett Boys.